Hello. So we start with the point that the, the way my videos come across is like radical, revolutionary even. I want to get to a new mainstream where it's not. It's just peace at last, relaxing. But yeah, a new mainstream in that sense, it's it's just that word mainstream. So it's not it's not. Some people would say it's already mainstream to want to get rid of all these Westminster idiots, the politicians, the news media, the Sun. That's already mainstreaming. But it's mainstream in that way that people want to do that. I don't deny that, but people don't know how to do it, and therefore it's radical, revolutionary. It's a contradiction, isn't it? It's like you'd think it would be one or the other. Like, say you're a Marxist or a literal Nazi, right? It's revolutionary. On one hand, it's mainstream already. Exists because it's a dictatorship, not because it's the will of. I don't think that's. I think it's a. I think it's a fix, so to speak. I mean, if there was a reference, so it's like they're saying the propaganda matrix says this is them speaking, not me. They say we live in a democracy where the people can get what they want. If they want rid of us, they can get rid of us. Bullshit. I've just explained that that's not true. I want the next thing. My psychological politics is a dilation of power. It's a revolutionary spread of power. Revolutionary because, like I was just saying a minute ago, it's so hard to envision, even though people want it. Given that ego and all its dysfunction and confusion and neurosis is the norm, ego is the norm among people like not just like my enemies, but people like me and people like anyone. It's so widespread that I'm sure that it will take an outer world collective shock to stop that. I admit that. But I'll settle for less. I'll settle for vanquishing the centralised Westminster SW1 propaganda matrix, as that would equate to eradicating Britain's large, bringing it to justice. Then and only then would I have faith in law and order. You can't support the UK's largest criminal, can't we simultaneously both? So I've said before in my videos that a lot of this is a lot of ego crap. State superstructure is just one thing. It's a cartel. It's all for themselves and others within that cartel linked to them. It's a constant brainwashing. It's mind possession. See, this is why this for me is the main corruption of it. Those within the system all want the same. Coincidentally, actually the same. I know we're different. We're different. We might be mainstream in the way we want rid of those twats, but we're not mainstream in what is thought to be a realistic that we can just get rid of people consuming rival newspapers like the Mail and Sun, and that we can just get rid of Parliament by people not being interested in it and get rid of Downing Street. You see, people dislike these things, so they think they have to do something. See? When what they really need to do is nothing. They need to stop consuming the news media and stop validating the politicians they want to get rid of. Then they would lose their power. See? That is the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it, definitely. It's sort of like it's a seen through way of doing it, making the state superstructure propaganda matrix less relevant to the point of irrelevancy. Now, if there's a propaganda matrix that is irrelevant or even close to irrelevant, it is no longer a propaganda matrix. It's been seen through. Propaganda requires people to fall for it, requires to be empowered so that it can be mind possessed. and so they can divide people. But if you lose, even if you, so I think lose any without the military, because that's the way it is, right? And I think you'd lose if you prove me wrong. So you can't win on that one. You have to see through it. See through it. Don't consume it. Don't validate it. That's the way. That's all I've got really, because once circulation of the public cancer in the body politic, ceasing to possess and manipulating the minds of millions of people would be a great seeing through